morning, everyone. How are you, my lovely ladies? You're just getting on. I thought I'm gonna dress up a little bit for you today. And we're going from my laptop, and I completely forgot how to do this. You remember when I did this first presentation? It was about why do we sleep? I think it was, and I went through Zoom. And I went at past on our normal Facebook, and I was like, oh, no, this is not the way to do it. So yeah, I glammed up a little bit. I thought, you know what? I'm not going anywhere. Nowhere to dress up for, so I'm going to dress up for you, lovely ladies. So yes, we're going to talk about anxiety today. I thought anxiety, it's a very important subject. It's a very... I think if you're depressed, chances are you are struggling with anxiety as well. So I wanted to put something together for you to give you a little bit more. Hi, Alexandria, darling. How you doing, honey? Just wanted to put some more information about the anxiety, how to cope with it. And I have a great technique to help you with it. So I'll wait a couple of minutes. If you want to join, that would be awesome. If not, it's going to be recorded anyway, so it doesn't really matter because you can watch it anytime. And another important and exciting thing, I actually started a YouTube channel. Well, I started one 2 years ago, but I don't have I don't remember the email address. I really don't remember any login details. And I know you tell me, oh, you can ask them for this and you can ask them for that. And I'm like, do you know what? Maybe that YouTube channel is supposed to be there, supposed to be in the past. But I'm going to put some links so you can see how I looked 2-3 years ago. It's funny. I look completely different. I had pitch black hair. Yeah. So I've started a new one. I'm going to post you a link here as well. The reason why I'm saying this, because I'm thinking to put those presentations, why are the glasses here? Put those presentations also in there. So if anyone, it's not in our group, but I would like to see anything what I'm presenting to you, I think it's cool to kind of have it out there, a little bit of knowledge, or even someone in your family or friends, and you thought maybe this presentation is kind of cool, great information, great info. I will be adding them to the YouTube channel. Okay. Who else have we got here? Say hello, say hello. And I give another minute and I'm going to start. Hope you're doing well. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I will be more than happy to answer. Or any concerns or any comments that you might have. How do you cope with anxiety? Do you have it? Is it severe? Is it mild? Do you have it for years? Do you have it because something happened? It could be so many reasons, right? So many reasons. I remember first time I had a panic attack, and it was very mild. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was going on with my body. Felt really uncomfortable and scary, actually. So I think the more we educate ourselves what's happening when you have a panic attack, when you have an anxiety attack, and you know what to expect, I think that's just put you at ease. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to start. Oh, I can't see with the glasses. I know. Once you get to my age, love, once you get to my age. Okay. Let's start this baby going. Okay, so anxiety. Let's talk about anxiety. Here is our presentation outlined. What's the point of discussion? So we'll talk about what is anxiety, signs of anxiety, what causes anxiety, what are the risk factors, types of anxiety disorders. I'm not sure if you're aware, but there are quite few actually. And I thought you might find this interesting. What can we do when we're feeling anxious, and what can we do to prevent it? When to see a doctor. And at the end, I will give you this safe place hypnosis to help you cope with any anxiety, any panic attacks. Okay. So just a quick disclaimer. Please note that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, and I would never ever recommend taking or stop taking any medication. So please consult your doctor before making any decisions. I just wanted to make sure that it's out there. I am a hypnotherapist. I'm not a clinical doctor or physician, okay? So did you know there are many ways to naturally reduce anxiety? So as little as 20 minutes of exercise can temporarily lessen feelings of anxiety. Another thing that we can do that is natural, that is, you don't have to have any remedies, you don't have to go to get some medications, is meditation. It's another remedy. There was a study done and it found that 20 minutes of medication classes help reduce anxiety by whopping, wait for it, 40%. So if you would meditate, it's dramatically improving the situation. 40%, I think that is big. That is big. Another study found that people with healthier diets, including food with like omega-3, so it will be your salmon, it could be your avocados, probiotics, that's from my part of the world, with the kefir, pickles, sauerkraut, any vitamins, nuts. Those are all great foods to actually prevent anxiety, believe it or not. So even our diet can make an impact. So that study found that, if you are used to and you eat a lot of Western diet food, so, processed food, fried, sugary, fatty foods, not the good fat, that will adversely impact you and can actually add to your anxiety. Okay. So what is actually anxiety? So anxiety is like, that feeling of unease. It's like a worry or fear. Can be mild and severe, like I said before. It can make your heart race. Everyone feels anxious at time to time, right? But it usually passes once the situation is over, okay? So it can make your heart race. It can make you feel sweaty, shaky. It can make us feel short of breath as well. And anxiety can also cause changes in our behavior. So if you're feeling anxious very often, it makes you, you could become overly cautious to avoid the situations that will bring you anxiety, but also it can make you a little bit indecisive because you just take a step back and you think, oh, hold on a second, maybe I shouldn't do that because I remember what happened last time, right? So when anxiety becomes a problem, our worries sometimes are not proportionate to what actually is the meaning. So because you have this feeling of anxiety, of panic inside of yourself, you actually think that the problem is so much bigger than actually is. What I want to tell you, that anxiety is actually a good feeling, okay? This is your body communicating with you and trying to tell you something's not right, okay? So I think if you know me and if you have been watching me for a little bit, what I'm trying, my message to you is that whatever happens to you, it's your body and your mind communicating with you. And it always underlying, there is a good intention. Even depression is a good intent. There is a good intention in there somewhere, okay? If you don't understand, we'll get there. But if we're talking about anxiety today, all people, all humans from time to time get anxious. So get comfort in that you're not so different than everybody else. But maybe if you're anxious, overly anxious, or all the time, there is something to be done, okay? So when you're overly anxious and maybe the situation is bigger than it actually is, it can also feel more intense and overwhelming, and that can interfere with our everyday lives, our relationships, or maybe even our work life, right? So other signs of anxiety can be feelings, nervousness, restless, feeling that tension, having a sense of danger, panic, feeling weak or tired. That could be another sign of anxiety, believe it or not. Having trouble sleeping. I remember feeling anxious because of my work. I was dreading to go to work, and I think my body knew, and it was telling me, don't go to sleep, because when you wake up, you will have to go to work and, do another day. And I would feel anxious, and I would be like, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I would be awake till 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. Because I couldn't relax. Because if you're going to sleep, you need to be relaxed, right? So that's another sign of something's not right. Having difficulty controlling worry. So like I say, sometimes when you're anxious, something can be a little bit bigger than it actually is, and you find it difficult to control this because you don't feel in control. Breathing rapidly to the point of hyperventilation, which is really not good for you. And having the urge to avoid things that trigger anxiety, like we discussed before. And even my example with work, it was my body was saying, look, what you're doing right now, okay, maybe brings you money home, but it's so stressful, it's so unpleasant that I'm going to give you anxiety to actually tell you, stop, you got to change your work. Here is the interesting one, the elephant. My friend accurately actually described the feeling of anxiety, and I thought that's really interesting, and I wanted to share with you guys. And he was saying, imagine an elephant sitting on your chest. Yeah, I don't know if you agree with me, but I thought, wow, this is really, really accurate. Okay. So what causes anxiety? Anxiety affects everyone differently. But here are some causes and risk factors. So medical causes. Okay. So for some people, anxiety might be linked to underlying health issues. In some cases, anxiety symptoms can be that depression is coming, And I think if you are depressed, you already know this, that maybe at the beginning of you kind of, if you remember, it was signs of your body to actually making you feel anxious, maybe panic attacks, before you actually was diagnosed with depression, okay? So if your doctor suspects that anxiety might have any medical cause, you'd have to make some tests to make sure, have a conversation with a doctor. Okay, I'm having anxiety, because the worst thing you want is to leave it too late. The quicker you actually notice that you have anxiety, that you have panic attacks, and it's something that is not right, the quicker you actually go to the doctors and have that conversation, the better. So here are medical causes. It can be examples of medical problems that can be linked to anxiety. Could be heart disease. It could be diabetes. If you have any thyroid problems, anything with respiration, with breathing, like asthma, for example, can make you anxious. Drug misuse or withdrawal. So if you want to, let's say that you drink too much excessively, or you take drugs and you want to come out of it, you know, it's your body's response. Oh, something's not right. I used to have, you know, a drink every single night. Now I don't have it. It's that feeling of anxiousness, because again, it's trying to protect you because this is what it's used to, but it doesn't maybe understand your body in this sense. Okay, I'm actually trying to get out of that state. So withdraw from alcohol, any anti-anxiety medications or any other medications. Look at side effects. If you're coming off some medications, many medications could have side effects of anxiety or panic attacks, unfortunately. Another thing is chronic pain or IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and some rare tumors that produce certain fight or flight hormones can be another cause, can be another link to anxiety. Next one is trauma. So trauma, if you had trauma in your life, even if that was long time ago, if you have kind of flashes and memories and emotions and memories coming, you can have anxiety about that. And if you experience that, I'm sure you agree. So for example, children who had some abuse or trauma, or maybe someone who witnessed traumatic events, those people are certainly a higher risk of developing anxiety disorder at some point in your life. Adults as well, with any traumatic experience, you know, it doesn't matter if you were a child or if you're an adult, trauma is trauma, and it will affect you at some point. So, you know, it's your body trying to heal itself to give you anxiety and try to let out and let go of those emotions, of those. What you need to think when you have an anxiety or panic attack and it brings back the memory of that traumatic event, just sit still, breathe in, stay calm, and think, I am in control here. This was a trauma that happened long time ago. This is in the past. It's not coming back. It's just a memory. It's a memory because your body and your mind thinks you are strong enough to deal with this right now. And it needs to let go of those emotions, right? So when you have an anxiety attack, a panic attack because of trauma that happened, breathe in and say, okay, I'm in control. I know exactly what's happening. I've got a memory, a flashback. Let it come and say, okay, I acknowledge you, you're here, and let it go. Let it go. Nothing's going to happen. This way, you are in control. You know exactly what's happening, and you're not panicking because you know this is coming. Okay, those emotions. And one day you're going to wake up and those emotions will all evaporate. But this is your body thinking that you are strong enough, that that trauma doesn't affect you anymore. Okay, it's something that happened. It's not coming back. You are not relieving it, reliving the situation. You know what I'm trying to say. You are just reviewing it and get that emotion, breathe into it, let it go, and say, okay, and we're moving on. And that will certainly help you because those emotions will come, but one day it will finish. It's like, let me give you an example. Have you been through a breakup before? Okay. And when you're going first through a breakup, it's a trauma kind of thing, right? Because someone left you, or you left someone, this person is not there. It's such a change, and you crying. But look at the time, right? Or even when someone passed away that was close to you, if that was 2 days later, yes, you're still suffering. But if it's 2 years down the line, look at your life, how it's changed. It doesn't affect you as much. So very similar situation. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Okay, what's next was having blood relatives with anxiety disorder. So it has been proven that anxiety can run in families. It could be stress due to an illness. So having a health condition or serious illness can also cause a significant worry about issues such as treatment in the future. Imagine that you are diagnosed with cancer or anything like that, or any illness that is not curable, or, you know, is something serious, it will give you anxiety. That's normal, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? Next one was the stress buildup, right? So stress buildup, it could be a big event, or a buildup of smaller kind of stressful situations can trigger excessive anxiety. Let's say that you have stressful work, and, you know, something happens and something happens, something happens. You don't deal with that. Have a glass of wine, you know, oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But those little events then add up. And that stress buildup then can cause an anxiety attack, a panic attack. So it's not great. You know, that can be also from at the back of maybe a death of family, you know, if you lost someone, or maybe ongoing something that worries you. Maybe you have financial issues or anything like that, and, you know, it's kind of not letting go. It's every day something, and brings anxiety. By the way, I will do a presentation. I don't think it's going to be a presentation. I have a great technique about money, actually, and limiting belief about money. So I will do that at some point. So next one is other mental health disorders. So people with mental health disorders, maybe depression, as you would know, if someone has depression, is more likely to have anxiety and panic attacks. And sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes anxiety comes first, and then you're actually being diagnosed with being depressed. And the last one is the, sorry, not last one, drug and alcohol. So I touched on that. So it's drug and alcohol misuse, or maybe withdrawing, you know, from alcohol, and your body is kind of, oh, where is it, you know, kind of a suffocating, kind of fight and flight again. And then personality. It has been proven that some personalities, people with certain personality types, are more prone to get anxiety disorders than others. So what I said before, you know, remember that your mind is just trying to protect you. And how amazing is that? And does that not give you a feeling of, you know, actually, is how clever is my mind and my body to try to protect me, that something just about to happen, or something's not right, you know? Sometimes it's your intuition, like with my work, you know, I was getting anxious, I was getting panicky, because my body, my intuition already knew this work isn't for you. As much as, you know, maybe the paycheck is great, but it's too stressful. You know, there's something else out there for you. And sometimes it's for us to just recognize that, and maybe you know, make a decision. I know it's not easy, but what I'm trying to say, just notice that your body is communicating with you. Okay. So what are the types of anxiety disorders? I thought that was quite interesting. So agoraphobia. You know, agoraphobia is the that anxiety disorder, which is the fear of places or situations that might cause you panic, and, you know, maybe you're feeling trapped or feeling helpless or embarrassed. So imagine someone with agoraphobia that can't go out, for example, because it's not comfortable around people, or maybe scared traveling, or, you know, public transport give you anxiety, and, you know, being with people. So that's agoraphobia. Anxiety disorder due to medical conditions. So I kind of touched on that. So that would be including symptoms of intense anxiety and panic attacks directly caused by any physical health problem. GAD, generalized anxiety disorder. This one is the most common one. It's where your anxiety is persistent and excessive, and you kind of worrying about things, number of different things, and you can't stop, you know. It's just like, oh, what about money, what about work, what about my health, and there's so many other things, and people with GAD actually anticipate any disasters, and they, like I said, might be overly concerned about things that may to you seem so big, but from somebody outside might be a little bit, you know, smaller. But you know, you could be worried about your health, your money, your family, work, any other issues. And people with GAD just find it generally difficult to control how to deal with worrying. Okay, and they worry too much, and they worry about everything in their life. Panic disorder. So it's repeated episodes of feeling of intense, really intense anxiety, very uncomfortable. If you experience that, you know how it feels, and it's just uncomfortable. And I think when I remember, mine was at work years ago, and I was so confused, and I was so scared, because I was like, oh my God, what's happened, I can't breathe, I'm literally panicking, right? So now we know that it's like fear, of terror, of you know, it's anxiety multiplied by, I don't know, 100, and it's just reaching its peak, and it can give you that panic attack. So it can be shortness of breath, chest pain. It could be pounding in your heart. You know, you're breathing really, really rapidly. Panic attacks can lead to you worrying about another one, right? So it's kind of a vicious circle, kind of, if you wish. Not good for you, that's for sure. And all this needs to be checked. If you ever felt like that, you know, it's not good. It's that's a reason definitely to speak to your doctor. Selective mutism, that's another one. So it's usually with children when they can't speak in certain situations, maybe at school, maybe in situations, maybe at home, maybe with close family members. I had a friend, and she was divorcing with her husband, and the child was 4. Well, it kind of, you assume it's from the divorce. We never found out, but the child actually, when they divorced, stopped speaking. He would just nod. He would, you know, he would just go mute, completely mute, for about a year. And you know, they took him to the doctors, and that's what they said, you know, selective mutism because of trauma. You know, if your parents are divorcing at 4, and your world looks completely different at 4, right? So it must have been such a traumatic experience for him not to speak. And sometimes it comes back, sometimes it doesn't. So it's quite serious. But it came back with my friend's little boy. So thanks God for that. Phobias, so specific phobias. So major anxiety when you're exposed to something. So it could be, you know, people are scared of spiders, people are scared of snakes. We had a client once where we did fast cure phobia, and he was scared of balloons. Then again, you can deal with it with hypnosis, because it's probably something in a childhood that's happened, and you have a memory, but your adult brain doesn't see the connection. You're just scared, and gives you this massive anxiety. And the guy was so scared of balloons. So it was, I don't know, 30th anniversary of wedding anniversary, and they had this. They're supposed to just go to a restaurant with a wife, but they arrived at a restaurant, and you know, there was whole family, whole friends, and everything, and they had this net in the restaurant full of balloons, right? And when they entered the restaurant, they dropped the balloons down, and the guy nearly had a heart attack, like, you know, heart palpitations and all this, because he was so scared of balloons. And then he came for a phobia cure for that. There was another guy who was scared of buttons, you know, like your buttons. I don't have any buttons here, but And it was something from his childhood that the mother was putting buttons together and something happened to her finger or something like that. And, you know, he had this memory of trauma and just he was scared of putting, you know, buttons together. So he needed to have any clothes with no buttons. If you think about it, you know, how many things you don't even notice, you know, your pair of jeans or something. Very, it affected his life quite a bit. Next one, substance induced anxiety disorder. So this is again about, you know, anxiety, panic attack from a direct result of withdrawing from alcohol, from drugs, or maybe taking medications like we said before. I watched quite a few documentaries when people are actually coming off the depression antidepressants, and they are so strong that people couldn't do it. They needed to, like, you know, cut just a little bit. It was just awful, bless them. But they had like panic attacks because the body was like, oh my god, what's going to happen, right? So and next one is other. So other can be any phobias that are not but you can't really put them onto anything. There are so many different things. Not phobias, the anxiety. So maybe OCD, that's another one. So again, we had a client, there was a lady who had an OCD and she couldn't get out from the house. And we have in England, I don't know if you have it in America, when you have a socket, you have this little on and off switch. So you don't have to have anything in a socket, but you know, you can say on or off. Off that there is no electricity coming directly to it, right? So this lady was when she was going to work, she was actually she would check every single room. So she would go to the kitchen, she would go to the bedroom, and so on and so on. And we don't have sockets in bathrooms in UK. So she would go every single room, and she had 3-bedroom house, and she would go and check you know, I don't know, once, and then she would nearly go and she's at the door and she's thinking, oh my god, did I check it? So she switched it off, and then she switched it on, and then she switched it off, because she had dogs and she would leave the dogs, go to work, and she was scared that the dogs would you know, it would happen something. And so that was the electricity. And she also did that with water. So she would go open every single tap and close the tap and open the tap, and, you know, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, and again and again and again. And, you know, it would take her at least 2 hours to leave the house, until the husband would be like, oh my god, just come on, right? So she would not have an exit strategy in her head to say, okay, you know, I can go now. If you're interested, I'll tell you the story and how we fixed it, actually, because it was you know, if you have an OCD, I'm not talking about OCD, maybe, you know, it's with the cans and they need to be in the right order or whatever, but that it actually affects adversely your life. That's another thing. And, you know, you just want to relax, don't you? Okay. So what can help with anxiety? So we can all take steps to reduce impact of symptoms. And again, I'm saying we, because all human beings have experienced anxiety. So don't feel so different. We all in this boat together. So what can we do? So if you notice that anxiety comes up, ask yourself a question. Why am I worrying? What is it? You know, what's happening? And recognize, okay, this is what's worrying me. Look after yourself, you know, little things, guys, little things. And I always say that, you know, Take a little bit me time, read a book, make sure that you don't run so fast, not just work, 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 you know. When you come home, you know, have your time, have your bath, have something to look forward to and something to remember. Life is about balance. You can't just try to breathe, 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 breathe. You can't do that. You have to breathe out at some point. So you can't just, you know, go give, 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 and not take. So it's about balance. It's about looking after yourself. Breathe calmly. So this is another one. I don't know if you've seen my post on Monday with a meditation. So when you have an anxiety attack, when you have a panic attack, okay, recognize, okay, what am I worrying about? Take a deep breath in, hold it for 1, and slower you can breathe out, the better. So breathe out always for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And do that 3 times. And you will feel so empowered because you are in control. And you are in control. You just need to learn how to control it. Okay, so if the anxiety comes, okay, notice, why are you worried? What's happening with your body? Why am I anxious? You know, what's happening? Or is it my chest? Okay, control the breathing. You can do so much with the breathing. Breathe in, hold it for 1, breathe out for 6. Meditate. So that's what I said before. Meditation is fantastic, and there is so many resources out there. If you're not sure about meditation, drop me a message. I'm more than happy to help you. I'm not an expert by all means, but what I do, I feel the resource, and it doesn't have to be complicated, and it doesn't have to be long either. But even, you know, 5 minutes can make a difference. So even every other day or something, I'll make a habit, you know, 2 minutes every day. Everyone's got 2 minutes. Come on. Challenge unhelpful thoughts. So this is going back to the first point, you know, what am I worried about? What is so negative? Why am I having these bad thoughts? What's happening? Yeah. So challenge that. Get active. Believe it or not, you know, if you get active, how many times I always say, and believe me, I'm not a big fan of going to the gym, and I'm not a gym bunny, but I do like yoga. I do like Pilates. I do like dancing. I love just putting a song that you love and just dance to it, you know, and I don't care if someone's looking at me. And if I'm at home on my own, brilliant. No one cares. No one can see you. But even that, you know, 4 or 5 minutes, get your endorphins, and you feel completely different. And you know, that is balancing your body out. So find something that brings you pleasure. Find something that it's good for you. You know, I hate going for a run. It's not for me. Maybe years ago I did like running, but something changed. I don't like it now. So don't force yourself to do something that doesn't bring you pleasure. Find little things that, you know, brings you pleasure. Here is the next one. So what I want you to do, to take yourself a piece of paper, okay, and just put a line through it, and on one side write it down, what are you grateful for? Okay, and take 1, 2, 3, how many, whatever, versus what are you worried about? And I can pretty much guarantee that you will have more that you're grateful for than what you're worried about. And once you realize that, you know, that feeling of worry will go down. Confront the anxiety. So that's the same, you know, what I mentioned before, the challenging the thoughts, noticing what's worrying about. And you are in control, you know. So even with this breathing, say, okay, why am I anxious? What's happening right now? Confront it, challenge it, and then say, okay, it's gone. Next, right? And the more you are feeling in control, the less it will come back. Okay, so when to see a doctor? I feel like I'm just talking. I will go back to the notes and comments in a second. So if you have any questions, please put them down. and I will go to it in a second. So your worries might not go away on their own. So it's definitely, it might get worse, like I said before. So if you having those feelings of worrying, you can wake up and it's like first thing you think, oh my God, what about my money? What about my job? What about this? What's going to happen tomorrow? Especially right now, with COVID. It's that feeling of anxiousness because we don't have an end date. We don't know what's going to happen. And don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid to reach out. Even if it's not a doctor, maybe speak to your friend, speak to someone. Don't keep it inside, okay? So quicker you can, nip it in the bud, as we say in England, the better. So see a doctor if you feel like you worrying too much is interfering with your work, relationships, and other parts in your life. See a doctor if you feel worry and anxiety is upsetting you and you find it difficult to control. See a doctor if you're feeling depressed and if you haven't got a medication yet and no one is actually looking after you. You have trouble with using too much alcohol, maybe drugs, and you just looking forward to that glass of wine after work. It's better to address it. I'm not saying don't have a glass of wine every now and then, but if this is every single night, let's be honest, is there something that can be done? Is there something that you're not coping with very well? If you have any mental health concerns along with the anxiety, again, another reason to contact the doctor. If you think your anxiety can be linked to any physical health problems, like I said before, with asthma, for example, am I anxious because I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have an asthma attack or something like that. But, I haven't ever spoken to anyone about anxiety because I already have asthma and I thought, one kind of cancels the other. No, it doesn't. And definitely speak to the doctor if you ever have any suicidal thoughts or behaviors. And please do seek emergency treatment immediately. And if you ever think about, harming yourself, please do reach out to absolutely anyone. And another thing that I wanted to tell you, I'm here for anyone. If you ever want to have a chat, over a cup of tea or coffee, and it doesn't matter where you are, if you even just fancy a chat, it doesn't have to be anxiety, it doesn't have to be about depression. Maybe you're just feeling lonely and just want to have a chat about knitting. I don't know, I don't have a clue about knitting, but what I'm trying to say here, I'm another human being that want to help you, that want to reach out. So if there's anything I can help, or even just to have a conversation, please do not hesitate to give me a quick call, drop me a message, and I'm more than happy to help. Any questions? Okay, I've been talking and talking. Hopefully that was helpful. Let's have a look if we've got questions. Stop sharing. Stop sharing. Oh, Alexandra is saying interested in fast cure phobias. Yes. Yes, I'll definitely come back to you. There is a technique that literally can cure a phobia in one day. It's an NLP technique, and you just change the framing of your mind. It's amazing. It's amazing to see people. What phobias are we talking, Alexandria? What phobias have you got? I'm just wondering if there's anyone else. I'll wait for 2 minutes for any questions. Oh, thank you, darling. I'm glad that you like it. Okay, yeah. PM me about specific. Very sensitive. Okay, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Absolutely. Yeah, it's, you know, it's private stuff. Not a problem. Just message me. I'm more than happy to help. Yeah, there are things that can be helped. So let me finish you the story with this lady, what happened with her. The lady that, you know, was switching on and off the sockets and she couldn't get out. What she did, okay, so she couldn't get out, and then she went to work, and she couldn't leave the work because she had another issue. And when she was saying this, it's like, are you kidding me? You're not checking the sockets in the whole building. And she works in, like, you know, a big building. And she's like, no. I think I have this paranoia in my head that I killed someone in the car park. So she would leave in the car, she would go, bless her, to the house, and, you know, she's nearly at home and she would have to turn around, go back, go through whole car park and to check if she hasn't killed anyone. You know, and then go back, and she would do that, I don't know, 4 or 5 times until her husband would not ring and say, look, you know, this is ridiculous, where are you? You know, I'm waiting here for with a dinner and stuff. And this is to do actually with the phobia. And there was a guy who was in the crowd, and he was saying, I actually cured myself from it, you know. And he said, why? What's happened? So I don't know if you remember those glowing sticks, you know, like when you used to go to raves and stuff, and you would kind of, it was this glowing stick, and you would kind of cut it in half, and it would shine, you know, of like fluorescence and stuff. And I don't need this anymore. So he would say, okay, I've got these problems. And he would say, in my mind, when I would go and switch off the sockets, or maybe turn off the taps and stuff, I would, in my mind, break the little yellow thing and just put it there. So if I was at the door, I would think, okay, I've done it now. And this was his exit strategy, right? So if you're struggling with OCD or anything like that, it's probably because, you know, and again, oh, hi, Mary. Hi, darling. You know, because you probably haven't got an exit strategy. Again, I'm speculating here because everyone is different, but this was what happened with this lady. And, you know, try to imagine live with that, you know, for years. And she was sorted in one day. So are we ready? I know, right? Terrifying. Right, I'm going to do now. Mary, you're in a great time, popping in a great time. I'm going to do now the safe place hypnosis. So this is what I want you to do, and I will put a suggestion there. When you click your fingers once, you will take yourself to a safe place. Okay. So again, disclaimer here, this is not for anyone who's struggling with epilepsy, who is struggling with schizophrenia and psychosis. Okay, so if you are any of those three, this is not for you, and I am not taking responsibility. Okay, so Mary, how you doing? Did you get some rest today? You need to say hello to your mum from us. Okay, what am I doing? Sharing screen. There you go. Questions. Safe place hypnosis. Ladies, sit back, relax. maybe sit somewhere that your back is, and what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to record it. So even if someone doesn't want to see the presentation, I will have the Safe Place Hypnosis as an audio, and I'm going to just pop it in here. Oh, I was lost for a second. So we're going to do hypnosis. So again, you hypnotize yourself every single day. You're going into trance every single day. Chances are, if you're driving, if you're walking to work, sometimes you just get to work and think, oh my God, how did I get here? This is you being hypnotized by yourself. And all hypnosis is hypnosis, but don't expect to feel hypnotized. Expect to feel relaxed. And I'm just waking up your imagination to take you in a nice place, to take you in a safe place, and you can always go back in there, okay? And the safe place is different for everyone, so you will use your imagination, and that's what's beautiful about it, okay? So yeah, sit somewhere. You would close your eyes in a second. I will just explain to you again what we're going to do. So I want you to look up as high as you possibly can. So you're looking into your own eyebrows, and take a deep breath in. And when you breathe out, I want you to keep your eyeballs up and close your eyelids right down, all the way down. That's all I want you to do, and just listen to my voice, okay? So sit down or maybe lay down, just listen to my voice. And I'm going to click record right now. So this is there for you. Okay. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And again, after a long day, maybe you've got loads on your mind. Let's get rid of everything. So take a deep breath in, hold it for 1, and breathe out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if you're ready, just make yourself comfortable. Your hands and feet not quite touching. And I want you to look up as high as you possibly can. And keep your eyes fixed on a real or imaginary spot. Breathe in and breathe out. And take another deep breath. And each time you blink, that is hypnosis coming up on you. Breathe in and breathe out. And just one final time, breathe in. Keeping your eyeballs up. And as you exhale, just close your eyelids right down, all the way down. And as your eyelids shut down, the muscles and nerves in and around your eyes are becoming heavy, droopy, drowsy. Your eyelids are starting to feel as if they've been glued shut, sealed shut, locked tight. And you find the harder you try to open your eyes, the more they feel glued shut, sealed shut, locked together. So just forget all about your eyes now and allow this drifting, floating feeling to develop in your body. Don't try to make anything happen. Just let it happen. And I want you to drop your chin just a little so you can get that same looking down sensation that you get when you look over a balcony or flight of steps. And as I count you down, you can see your feet, hear your feet, and feel your feet, threading each and every step as you go deeper and deeper. So I want you to picture 10 steps descending. So right now, you're moving on to step 10. As each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 9. And you can see your feet threading each and every step as you go deeper. You're taking step 8. And you can hear your feet making contact with every step as you go deeper. Taking step 7. And you can hear your feet making contact with every step as you go deeper and deeper. Taking steps 7 and 6 as every noise and sound and movement around you is carrying you further deeper, way, way deeper into hypnosis. Taking step 5. You halfway down, go deeper. Taking step 4. As each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. Taking step 3. Going deeper into awareness of yourself. Taking step 2. Going deeper into your own internal state. Taking step 1. Just go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper. And as I click my fingers, you will go deeper, drift deeper, float deeper. And deeper just means going deeper into awareness of yourself. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Well done. Remember, you are fully in control. And this is just you going deeper into a beautiful state of relaxation. And this is you communicating with your subconscious mind. So we now will be creating a safe place. And this is a place where you can go into every single time when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling scared, when you're feeling panicky. With a suggestion of you clicking one finger just like that, you can get yourself to that safe place. So I want you to picture in front of you, big door, massive door. It can be a wooden door. It can be made from metal. It can be just a gate. And I want you to grab the handle and just walking through it. And you close the door behind you. And now I want you to imagine maybe a garden. Maybe you're on a beach. I know some people that love mountains, and that makes them feel calm and relaxed. So whatever picture comes to your mind, is it a garden that maybe is closed? Wherever you are, you have a fence around it. And the only person that can go there is you. This is your safe place. And I want you to bring a memory to your mind when you felt calm, when you felt good about yourself, when you felt that life is effortless and it's beautiful. A feeling when you felt loved, joyous, happy. A feeling like there was no worries. And your brilliant mind already knows how to get there and what kind of feeling it is. And it takes you straight there. I want you to the feeling of being calm, relaxed, happy, joyful. I want that feeling to just wash over you and let you feel it. being relaxed. Feeling joy, feeling freedom, feeling calmness, and you feeling in total control. So whatever your safe place is, I want you to take your shoes off. And I want you to feel whatever is underneath you. Not physically, in that imagination. So if your safe place is a garden, I want you to feel beautiful cold grass underneath your fingers, underneath your toes. And I want you to just walk in this garden and feel the breeze. If your safe place is maybe a beach, I want you to feel the warm sand underneath your toes and feeling the breeze of the ocean. If you're in the mountains, maybe there is a river and you walking and feeling fresh water. What we're trying to do is to make you feel grounded. So you're grounded and connecting with the earth. And I want you to repeat in your mind, I am calm, I am in control, I am relaxed. I am in charge of my mind and of my body. I am in total control of the situation. And I want you to just imagine that you're walking in that safe place. And there is nowhere else for you to be right now. And you can hear the birds. The sun is shining. And it feels so good. It feels so effortless. And I give you some time just to feel that feeling of feeling effortless, feeling calm, feeling relaxed. And take a deep breath in for me. And breathe out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to go back to this door. And I want you to leave your safe place. And I want you to lock the door. And I want you to see the key. And you are the only person to have the key. And your safe place is like a little garden. It's like a little secret place that no one knows is there. It's for you. It's there. And you can go back to that place and have this feeling of calmness, sensation of relaxation, feeling totally in control anytime you want to. You just click your finger once and you can take yourself, closing your eyes, taking that deep breath, hold it for 1, breathe out for 6, and you can take yourself back to that place anytime you want to. So again, take a deep breath in and breathe out. And feeling wonderful, feeling amazing, feeling free. As I count you back to your full awareness right now. With each number, you will become more aware of your surroundings. When I count off 1, you're becoming more aware of your body, feeling your fingers and toes. On a count of 2, you're more aware of the room that surrounds you. On a count of 3 and 4, you're taking deep breath in. On a count of 5, open your eyes, feeling wonderful, feeling amazing, feeling free. Fill up your lungs and come back to your full awareness right now. How we doing, beautiful ladies? I don't know why I'm putting this back on. Wow, it has been over an hour that I'm with you. Any questions? Anything that you're not sure about? Did you enjoy it? Was it good? I did record it, so I'm going to put it as just a recording. I'm just going to save it for myself. Save is the recording. And I can add maybe some music for you. And just let it in there. Energized, refreshed. Awesome. Love it. Love it. That's what I like to hear. Well, ladies, if there is no questions for me, and Alexandra messaged me about the fast cure phobia, but you can always message me, or always, fancy chat, get in touch. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed it. It's there for you. You can always go back to it. Yeah, loads of love and have a wonderful evening. You take care, darling.